Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City. Welcome to the Brick Design Breakdown live stream. Guess what? My mic was muted and that's why you didn't hear anything. So we'll start this from scratch. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's so great to hear you and to see you. If you see me or you hear me, please let me know. We've got an echo once again. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let me know how it sounds. Let me know how strong the echo is as well. All right. Well, sorry about that little technical detail. Dr. McBrick, thank you very much. As I was saying to everyone, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much, everyone who's joining in. This is the Brick Design Breakdown. It's a different kind of live stream from my Coffee and Bricks live stream, which really focused on a certain format. And I discussed it and gave my opinion. And this one has a different style altogether. In fact, the look is different. The setup is different as well. And you might not have heard me just now, but you definitely probably saw it. So all I like to do is say thank you very much. And let's head over to the live cam and see what we have over here. This is how the live cam is. Basically, it is my work table. And that's exactly how we're doing it for this particular stream. I'll be sharing with you some of my ideas. I'll be sharing with you some build techniques. And you know what? I do need your input as well because we're all going to discuss, share, and learn together. If you've been watching some of my previous videos most recently, you know what you're seeing in front of you is my medical center. So I'll be showing you some of my progress or ideas about that. And of course, this is a live chat, so please do comment. Let me know where you are. Let me know the time, and you know, we're gonna have lots of fun. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, super chats are enabled. All you have to do is donate through the $ you see in the live chat if it's available in your country. And of course, head over to smallbrickcity.com/shop where you can buy some building instructions, buy my book, buy some merchandise. Great way to support the channel. And of course, the easiest way is just to hit that live button, or like button rather, and just give this a like. Whether you're watching the replay or whether you're watching this live, just give it a like. And of course, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. That's always useful for us. And let's pull up the chat and just talk to a couple of people before we start this. Hi Cowie, Brick Bender, J Brick, Dad Richie 1, fantastic. CD Bricks, The Loots, The World of Bricks and Pieces, Ninjago Bricks. That's quite a few people. Brick Bender, Underworld, you say it's 9 p.m. here, fantastic. Yeah, do let me know where you are in the world and what time it is, and whether you think this is a good time for a live stream, because this is very different from my Coffee and Bricks live stream. And Dr. McBrick, you say it's about 10:07 here. Thank you very much. And I believe CD Brick says that he is 8 subscribers away from 200. Well, guys, head over to CD Bricks and help him out. He needs 8 subscribers. Now, I'm not going to do any Q&A right now because I'm going to launch into the live stream, but we will have Q&A in the middle and at the end as well. So keep your questions for later, but please chat among yourselves. And if you have any comments as we go along the way, please do so. But let's get right into it. Lots of fun. Now, the live stream is called the Brick Design Breakdown for a reason, and the reason is because I want to focus on building techniques, and I want to focus on basically just ideas on how we can improve and we can build. So this is the project I'm currently working on. It's a medical center. It started as a 1-story building, lots of detail, and you can check out the video for this in my videos. Just look for the most recent videos. And what I'm in the process of doing is to convert this into a 2-story building. So as you can see, this is the roof, but this is the additional 2nd floor roof that I've created. And what happens is I've also built a staircase, as you can see right here. And I shared exactly how to do this in terms of figuring out the position of the staircase and the corresponding stairwell in the floor of the 2nd floor, and how you line everything up so that you can create the floor for the second floor, and obviously I will be building this up to become a second floor. Now, there were a lot of comments and feedback about people wanting to have an elevator in the medical center, especially as it's expanding now to a second floor, because people with crutches can't climb up these stairs, and you should have an elevator. Now, I should say this first, the focus of that particular video that I was doing was to really show how stairs can be built in. So there was a reason for that video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this completely, that's right. And I'm going to build it up to, it's a 2-story building with the staircase and the additional rooms for this medical center. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a major renovation where I'll be removing the stairs and putting in an elevator so that you guys are happy. And we can also do a video sharing how to actually renovate a Lego modular building so that you can remove the stairs and put in an elevator. So we get the best of both worlds, and I hope you will enjoy that. And obviously this is going to be probably at least a week-long project as we do that. But the first thing I would do is to build up the entire second floor and all the small details inside. So that's just a little build update. And I thought, since this is the brick design breakdown, I will share with you some of these small builds that I've created for the medical center. And that's how I do it generally when I am building and I have an idea of the external structure. In the case of the medical center, I've already built up the base structure, so you can see exactly how big that building is, and I have an idea how big it is. So then I go ahead and I start working with these small builds. Now, let me show you some of the small builds I'm going to put on. This is actually a water tank, and you might notice it's the same tank from my public toilet, and I'm going to put it on the roof because I think now that is a bigger medical center, I should actually have a water tank, and this can actually be removed, and you see some trans blue studs there. So this will be added to the roof, but this is something I already pre-built. It's not something brand new. I thought I'd show you that. And of course, I will need to have a hospital bed, and I've shared how to do this in a build tutorial as well. You can check that out in my video list. And this is really a patient resting bed for the recovery room or the patient room. It's got the bed, it's got all the safety rails, EKG machine, there's the saline drip or glucose drip, and that's the bed. In that same room, I'll probably have some kind of a little nightstand. So that's for some drinking water and a cup and a set of drawers. For the outside, or maybe this will be for the downstairs, it's going to be a water cooler, slightly different design from ones I've shared before. And what else do I have? This is of course very important. I've got different designs and I'll choose the right one, but of course I've got the toilets. That's one design, and the other one that I think I'll put in is probably the heated toilet, something with some electronic controls there. So I haven't decided how to configure that just yet, but I will do that. And let's see, I've got 2 more builds which I'm pretty happy about because these are more medically focused builds and very relevant to the medical center. The first is this, and I built it after an actual X-ray machine. So this is how it looks like. This is the, I guess, the bed that the patient would actually lie on, and this particular thing here is the X-ray camera, and this will be attached to a rail on the wall so that it can be slid over any part of the patient, just as a real X-ray machine would work. So that's something I put together. And finally, another small build that I worked on was this. This is for the lab, where they basically check out different cultures, do the blood test work, and what we have is different dishes over here. There's a microscope, some bottles of stuff, there's a Bunsen burner with something that is burning, and we've got a little machine which will test, I guess this is a blood sample over here. So that's basically something I built. And in terms of the breakdown of the design. This right angle basically is so that it can fit within the corner of a room and just makes it a bit more ergonomic to the room and maximizes the space. And it basically just uses plates. No bricks here, simply because I wanted the height to work. As you know, I always use the minifig test. So when I put a minifig, I want to make sure that the minifig could look into the microscope. So that's why I didn't put bricks. Originally, I did put bricks, but it's too high. So it's just all plates. Now, this gray plate that you see is set onto the base plate, and it will raise it so that it's the same level as the tiles as I tile the room. So that's basically the small builds that I have created for the interior, and in the case of the water tank, the exterior of the medical center. So what do you think about that? Do you like it? Now, speaking of the elevator, so I decided to just work on an idea for the elevator. This isn't the finished product, but just an idea to show you what I'm thinking of. Now, because of the space constraint, we don't have much space to build a big elevator. But what I did need is an elevator that could at least fit a wheelchair. So if you know the Lego wheelchair, this is the molded piece, it can't fit through a standard door. Now, even though the standard door is 4 studs wide, and this particular wheelchair is also 4 studs wide, there's no way to push it through the door frame because of the door frame. So you need an opening so that you can push in the wheelchair. But the thing is, if you want to have a door, that can take lots of space. You need different techniques to build the door. You can't use the door frame, so you would either have to build a door with hinges. You could use a vehicle door, which has these rounded bricks that can be built into the wall, or you could build a sliding door, but this can take space. So this is the idea I was going for, and the door itself is really just a safety ramp which hinges up and down, and that's why I made it red and black as well. So the idea is the wheelchair can be pushed up into the elevator, and you press a button and it closes up. Of course, you just have to do it manually. Now, it won't roll forward because this is where the wall is, so that's really snug. There's no way it can fall out. And what you see behind here is the Technic pin and the brick. So the reason why this is just a work in progress, this is currently, I feel, a bit too thick. If I do make it this thick, I will have to raise the outside of the elevator up a bit so that this slope is gradual and the wheelchair can just be pushed up onto the elevator. Right now it's a bit too thick, but I needed that Technic brick to put this pin. And this is so that this will stick out through a slot in the back of the medical center so that I can hold it and I can basically have the elevator go up and down manually. So pretty straightforward mechanism, if you even call it that. But having this brick makes it 1 brick high. As you can see, it's really thick. And let me show you the breakdown. This is just a right angle panel. There's a jumper plate over here, and this is the brick. And everything is built around it so that I can then sandwich it and hold it in place. So from a structural perspective, it is pretty strong, and this works, but it's too thick. So I'm not really into Technic parts, but do you guys have any suggestions on an alternative part? Is there a plate with a Technic cross-pin hole that I could put this connector in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know if there are any suggestions. Now, in terms of the size, it has to be this size. This is 4 studs wide, and I use these panel pieces so that it just nicely fits. Everything fits snugly, and the entire space that this particular elevator would take will be 4 studs by 5 studs, which will work in the context of my medical center, so I can afford that space. So let me know your thoughts about the elevator, and if you've got any other suggestions to connect this crosspin so that the thickness of this elevator base will not be as thick. Well, that's basically some of the design breakdowns I'm working on for my medical center. Let's head back to the chat and see what you guys are saying about the elevators and whether you have any suggestions. Let's pull it up. Finding Profits, thanks for joining us in, and thanks for liking the builds. KO Cadwell, thanks for joining. Bricks Only, Thanks, Dr. McBrick. The Lutz. Where's that wheelchair from? I think it comes from several sets, but this one came from one of the People Pack sets, and I believe it's the Fun in the Park set. How much does it cost? You have to check. I'm sure you can buy it alone from Bricklink, but do check out the People in the Pack Fun in the Park set. That's from, I think, 2 years ago. And that's right, it's also, as Annie from Small Brick City says, hi Annie. She says it comes from the town bus station. That's right, it does come with the town bus station because that particular bus does have a handicap door, which is really great. The Loot says, what about using one of those pins with the little L pin? Now the problem with using anything round is that if you add a connector to it, it just tends to move and slide around. And the pin itself isn't long enough to be a handle because it has to stick past one brick and more, because it has to go past the back wall of the hospital or the building and extend out so that your fingers can grab it. Kawi says, your elevator is a bit different. Is it already in one of your videos? I'll do check it out and see if I can apply that technique. And will you be able to take the wheelchair? Does it have some kind of a ramp that you can push it in? Owen Gravely, you are watching Endgame. Okay, no spoilers here then. And if you just joined us, welcome to the Brick Design Breakdown. This is a live stream with a focus on Lego building techniques and ideas for MOCs. If you haven't, please let me know where you are in the world and what time it is, and whether you think this is a good time for a stream, because this is a new time for this particular stream. My weekend stream called Coffee and Bricks, which takes place at my time late at night, but for most of you during the day, that would still continue. This is a new stream. Well, let's get back to the breakdown, and I'm going to show you another couple of small builds, and just to share with you some ideas as well, and to showcase some parts that I think you would enjoy. And we'll get back to the chat and the questions later. So here we have a newspaper box. And this one, I believe, is from the Sanctum Sanctorum set. But I could be wrong. I really can't remember where it's from. But I do believe it's from that particular set. Now, I like this particular design for a newspaper box. I think it looks logical. And I think a small build like this is great for a Lego city. And if you're new to Small Brick City, we have a really big focus on building great brick cities, regardless of the size. And a newspaper box is a great addition to your Lego city. I know newspapers seem a bit outdated, but I think people recognize that particular object. And if you litter this throughout your city, it really gives a bit of small build character. So let me just do a breakdown of this particular build. It's very simple to put together. Back here, we just have a 2x4 tile. I'll get back to that in just a bit. And the main structure uses these brackets. So that's a 2x2 bracket with a L stud over here. So that's just brackets on three sides, and then you put the tiles on, and you have a 1x2 plate here, and everything is capped underneath with a 2x2 plate. And then we have another white plate here with the newspaper sign or newspaper tile. So it's very effective. Now, the only thing about this particular design, while it's really nice and effective, if we come back to this part over here, in order to achieve this look, you need that 2x4 tile, but you need this reverse tile. So it's a tile but with studs behind. Normally a regular tile is like that. You have the bottoms or the tubes that receives the studs, but in this case it's a reverse tile with a sticker. Or this one, yeah, it is a sticker, not printed. Now the thing about this is not everyone might have this part. So if you wanted to create many of these, you'd probably have to bricklink this specialty part, which may or may not be worth it for you. So I'm going to look at an alternate build for this particular newspaper box so that you could build it, because I think it uses a bit more common parts. And I've got two versions. This is the first version. So it's almost identical, as you can see, but the back is a bit different. So instead of using another bracket part, I've placed a modified plate with a closed bar element. So that's a 1x2 piece, and it sticks out, and you need this tile with the clips. So it's a modified tile with clips, and that clips on, and you can get that same kind of look. Not exactly the same, but the same kind of look. And then if you wanted to put a sticker over here, you need one of the stickers, or you can look for the trusty extra sticker pack. As many people know, I've been really utilizing the stickers from this pack quite a bit, and probably there's one DIY sticker over here that would fit. Couldn't really find many stickers that would fit a newspaper box, but some kind of advertising. Now this DIY probably refers to some kind of a handyman store or hardware store, but I think it fits as kind of the sticker size and just the look to fit this particular piece. Okay, so this piece still, it may not be that common. You might not have this readily in your spare parts. So there's another alternative. Instead of using this piece, you could use this. And this is basically a modified plate with 2 clips. And then you just take a gray 2x2 towel and you clip it on. Just like that. Now you create that same right angle, even closer to the original design. And now it just looks like a box. So you don't have any advertising here, which I think is fine, but you still get that same kind of a look. So that's basically another design possibility for a newspaper box. And if you want to add that to your Lego city, you can build it. So what do you think of this newspaper box? Do let me know in the chat. We've got one more thing to share, and this is really just an idea, and I'd love to hear your opinions and what you think about it. So what I have over here is, this is actually a bottom of a build that I did. It was my cafe and bookstore, but I've since dismantled the top part. Now if you do want to check out, I do have a video of this probably more than a year ago, almost a year and a half ago, so you do have to look for it. It's the cafe and bookstore or bookshop, and the top floor was a bookshop, and the top was actually remarked from the Winter Village toy store set. And if you see this looks probably very familiar to you. It's actually a remark from the detective's office. So I extracted the parts from the detective's office, and I built it as a standalone building. This was built at that time on my small brick town specs, which was 12 studs by 16 studs. But I've since abandoned that particular specs, and I've worked with either half modular buildings or quarter modular buildings, or even a 16 by 16 building. So I've decided to abandon this particular scale. But I do like the look of this. Not necessarily, of course, in this configuration. This was designed as a corner build, but I think this does look either like some kind of a cafe or a bar or something. So you can see the inside. I'll just share with you some of the details. I kept the fan, which is a nice little build. It is a coffee store. As you can see, stairs actually that this door opens up so they can go up to the bookstore. And then there is a coffee counter, coffee cups. Let me see if I can pull this out. This is a coffee machine, and this was modeled after the Simpsons Quickie Mart coffee machine, which is actually a very nice build, really realistic, especially with this exhaust looking top. And now we can get probably a clearer look inside. A little counter, and there used to be a pastry. Oh, there still is. You can see the pastries right there. So from the inside, you can actually just take the pastry or drinks that you want from over here. So that's basically just a quick look at this build. But I wanted to do another remark, and I was thinking of doing a small build, but something with a bit of character. So one of my subscribers mentioned to build some kind of a spy shop or spy gadget shop for secret agents and such. So I do like the idea. I think it's a fun idea. There are some cool things you can do, but I didn't just want to make some kind of a build with spy equipment, because I think that doesn't really make sense, or it wouldn't be really that interesting. However, when I was re-looking at this particular build, I thought this would be perfect if I could create a build that is inspired by the movie The Kingsman. So in the movie The Kingsman, which is basically a secret agency or secret agent organization in Britain, they have a tailor shop, which is actually a front for all their secret gadgets and stuff. So the front is a legit tailor shop, and then there'll be, I guess, a secret door or panel that opens up, and then you can access all the good spy stuff from weapons and stuff which is often disguised in terms of their suits. So I thought a look like this would fit the frontage of a tailor's shop. If I were to, of course, change the size or dimensions for this, I could move this to the front so that we have two of these dome windows on either side, and there can be minifig torsos and pants to represent suits. On either window, there'll be, of course, the main door that goes in, and we could have half the build just be a counter, just like a small tailor shop, with all kinds of cloth and torsos as well. And then we can have a secret door that either hinges open or slides open, and then that reveals weapons and all sorts of gadgets. So let me know what you think. Do you like that idea? Do you think it's going to be a fun build? Do you think it's worth doing, converting this particular build to a tailor shop with a secret agent weapon stash? So it's not supposed to be the exact Kingsman build, so it's not going to be a replica, but it's going to be inspired by. So let me know your thoughts in the chat, and let's head back to the chat and see what people are saying. All right, let's just move back a bit and see what people have been saying. Let's go back, and I know people are talking about the elevator, so let's head back to see who we have. Oh, Brick-like Crisis, thank you for being here. The Lutz was talking about a 1x2 plate with the toe ball. Now, I did think of that. I haven't taken that part out to try. So the only thing about that is that that is pretty long, and it converges from a 2-stud to a 1-stud. So I just have to make sure that it can be built. It's not too long to be built, and I can actually build it. But I was thinking about that, so thanks for that reminder and suggestion. Dr. McBrick talks about the Town Hall modular elevator. Yes, I believe it also has a pin, but I believe it's also a brick. I can't remember. I did check it out. I will go back and have a look at that build. And that was also that build. Maybe the pin goes to a right angle connector, but I'll check it out. Thanks, Dr. McBrick. Let's see if anyone else has any other comments. Thanks for liking all the small stuff. Yeah, Bricks Oni says, I like the newspaper box from the detective's office, but this looks better. Yeah, I like that particular build as well. That one's quite nice from the detective's office, but this one I think looks just a bit more modern, but again, it's just an alternative. See you, Dr. McBrick. Thank you very much. Bricks Oni, what's the DIY sticker? Yeah, I'm sure it's for a hardware store. Whiskey Shred, welcome to the stream. The Lutz likes the idea of the secret tailor shop. Let me know, guys, what you think of that particular build. I think I might try it because I've already built, I have this here, so it's really just a remodel and doing the interior details. Not sure if I'm just doing a 1-story build or a 2-story build. Maybe I might do a 1-story just, for the sake of trying this creative exercise, but I'm not sure. Maybe there's a secret attic. So the Lutz, what about a magic shop? Yeah, that's possible. I could do are you talking about a straightforward magic shop, or are you talking about a fake shop in front with a secret magic shop behind? I've thought of doing a magic shop. Just that, actually, I have done a magic shop, because if you look at my History of Magic Museum, that is a bit like a magic shop, and that's actually a Lego Ideas project, and you can check that out as well in my video list. So yeah, I might not do a magic shop because I already did that magic museum, which is pretty close. All right, let me know if you have any more questions. The stream is designed to be 45 minutes long, and that's how I like my streams. I think that's a good length for everyone who's watching live. And by the way, thanks for your time, for joining in. And of course, everyone who's watching the replay as well. Now, whether you're watching live or the replay, do hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. And just check the ticker bar below to see how you can support this channel. Any way you can support us will always be appreciated. Now, one segment I've created for this particular the brick design breakdown is to examine a single Lego element and brainstorm ideas on how we can use them in different builds. So I'm going to place this away. And the element I'm going to discuss today is the modified rail plate. And that's this particular piece of here. So this is a modified plate, and that's what you'll find it under the Bricklink catalog. And it's basically like a regular plate, but it's got this lip or this rail, and that's why it's a modified rail plate. You can get it long like that, or you can get 1x2 plates like that, and you can even get something like that. So this is also a modified rail plate, but it's 2 by something, so it's actually got an extension. It is longer than this one. So my question to you is, what ideas do you have to create different builds, or how can you utilize this particular element in Lego MOCs and builds? So I'll give you an idea to just think about it, and I'll have a look at the comments as you think about it. Hi Cindy, thank you. Welcome to the build or to the live stream. Dat Richie 1 says, do a 2-story building with a secret floor and secret wall. Secret wall is easy enough to disguise. Not sure how to disguise a secret floor. Miles Clayton, hi. Thanks for joining in. The Luke says, I like the Ninjago City used for it for a sliding door. And then obviously decorated everywhere. I actually used that to make a sliding door. Alright, since people have mentioned the sliding door, I'll just talk about that. That's absolutely right. Now, for this, if you want to do a sliding door, you can't use this plate. You need to use the 2 by something plate. And the way it works is this. You get a door or a window, and you can place the bottom of the door on one of the plates like that. And of course, you build this into a wall, and you take your other rail plate, and notice there's actually a groove at the bottom of the double rail plate, and you can actually sandwich the door or the window, and it can actually slide inside just like that. That's how you get a sliding door. So if you've ever wanted to know how to make a sliding door, you need this particular part. So that's the most common use for using this particular piece. And of course, you could use a window. It doesn't have to be a door. You could have a window just like that, and you could create that same sliding effect. So if you had, for example, another window, or in this case, I've just got some bricks, this is how you could do a sliding window counter. So you put the, call it, just imagine this is another window, okay? You put one window here, and you put another window on the sliding panel, and then you put this, sandwiching it on top just like that, and see what we have. It's a self-contained, almost like a drive-through style window. You can just slide this open, and now you can access this part over here. And of course, if this is a window, as in this part here is a window, you can see through, and it just looks like 2 windows together, but you create a sliding window build just like that. So it's pretty simple, and I know a lot of people would like to put in a sliding window, but may not know how. And of course, instead of window, you can also use a panel piece. Those panel windows, those clear transparent or trans blue windows, so those are panel pieces that will work as well. But that's basic, and it doesn't have to be a window. You could use another, if I were to create a secret door or sliding bookcase for that secret tailor shop, I could build a bookcase here, one here and one here, and that could slide. And that's probably what I would do. So you get a sliding bookcase, of course, which should be in every spy and magic shop. So that's one use, and to use it. Now, for a decorative use, obviously this could work as a windowsill. Very simply, you just put it underneath a window, build it into your build. Say we put it on top. In fact, you could put it, I guess, yeah, just like that, and you get a nice windowsill. You could do it the other way as well, I'm sure, and you can put it on top, so it becomes just a little edging for the top. So you could do this, and imagine you could, I guess, put something like that, and you get a window sill, actual sill, and a little edging top. So that's how you could do it in terms of being decorative. Now, some people would just build this into builds as well. So you could do something like that, build it into the wall, and just create some ornate pattern, just like that. So instead of just putting plates between bricks as you build a wall to break up the monotony of a wall, you could put in modified plates like that, and just gives a bit of 3D texture. And this, maybe it could work as, I don't think it's big enough for a ladder, but maybe a small step if you need. This also functions well as drawers for a chest of drawers. So if you're building some kind of a chest of drawers, and of course I don't have the exact right parts, but let me borrow this from my medical build. So I could do something like that. I can put this on top, and just adding that in, that looks like a lip. Or imagine if this wasn't a drawer here, but I had, yeah, something like that. That can look like the little handle for a set of drawers that you open and close. Now you could also do a snot technique like this. Now snot technique, snot is stud snot on top. So instead of building regularly from bottom to top, you could snot it like this. And again, this is of course being decorative, but now you can get vertical strips. You see what I mean here? So if you were to stack them up this way, you can get long vertical strips that go all the way up a building of a build. So that's decorative by the snot technique. And of course you need modified bricks in order to stick this on either side. I always use these plates for the top of my roofs or just the underside of the roofs. And they look like drain gutters. Just imagine drain gutters where water would flow down. So I like to use these as roof accessories. If you have a car, you can put this under the side of a car, and it looks just like a little step that comes out. Good for sports car because they look like accessories or spoiler kits that you might add. Or if you're doing a 4x4, any kind of utility vehicle, if you extend these out from the side of cars, it looks like a stepping plate that minifigs can step on. If you are into really micro builds, really small builds, I've used this rail plate as train tracks. So imagine if you've got a small train that you can pretend to build. Let's imagine this is a train, and you build a train and just put it on. It actually looks like train tracks from the front. And I actually use this for my 3D train station signs, and you can check that video out as well. I have 2 videos on that actually, how I created 3D signs of mini trains to act as train station signs. So these are just some ideas off the top of my head to use these rail plates. I think they're very versatile. As you can see, they're both functional uses and decorative uses. And in fact, most Lego elements have these dual parts and dual uses. Do any of you have any ideas of how to use the parts? And let's head back to the chat and have a look. Apple Bricks, thank you for joining us. The Loot says he uses it in the bathroom as a thin handrail. That's great. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Normally for handrails, I would use the bar elements, but that makes perfect sense as well. And it takes up less space, so that's good. See you guys talking to each other. Very good. And if you just joined us, please let us know where you are in the world and whether you think this is a good time for the live stream. And before I end this, I should also ask, do you like this particular concept and format and subject matter for the live stream? This is the brick design breakdown, where we focus on Lego building techniques and building mock ideas. So let me know, would you like to see this as a regular live stream on top of my weekend coffee and bricks live stream, which is a completely different format and concept? So please let me know. You can't put links on the chat. I believe YouTube would just strip them out, so you can't share links. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you everyone who popped in, and thank you everyone for joining in the live chat. And if you are watching the replay, thank you once again. Just like to let you know, if you like to get free Lego stuff, all you need to do is to head over to smallbrickcity.com and you can subscribe to that website. So it's a bit different from the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the website. You can get building plans for an original mini house. You can get building plans, book reviews, video tutorials, and more. And of course, you can support the